Imagine waking up one morning to find that the world's shorelines have crept far beyond their limits. Beaches stretch for miles where waves once rolled. Harbors lie stranded, their ships tilted helplessly in dry mud. Entire coastlines look as though the sea has simply stepped back. But this isn't low tide. This isn't drought. The oceans, the enormous bodies of water that cover 70% of Earth's surface, have begun to evaporate. Not slowly, not subtly, but catastrophically fast, vanishing into the air like a boiling pot left unattended on a massive planetary stove. The cause could be anything: an abrupt spike in solar radiation, a sudden change in Earth's atmosphere, or a freak cosmic event that superheats the planet's surface. But whatever triggered it, the effect becomes unmistakable within hours. Humidity skyrockets. The air becomes heavy, dense, and almost wet enough to drink. Fog-like steam blankets coastlines, rolling inland in thick, shimmering sheets. The horizon blurs as the line between ocean and sky dissolves. By midday, the process accelerates. Ocean surfaces hiss with escaping vapor, forming storms of steam that rise thousands of meters before condensing into towering clouds. But the atmosphere can only hold so much water. Once it becomes saturated, the excess vapor forms colossal walls of fog that move like living organisms drifting across continents. These clouds don't bring refreshing rain. They bring scalding droplets heated by the energy of evaporation. The world enters an age of boiling storms. Marine life is the first to suffer. The upper layers of the oceans grow hotter and saltier by the minute as fresh water evaporates away. Fish flee downward toward cooler depths, but even the deep ocean begins to warm as heat transfers inward. Coral reefs bleach, plankton dies en masse, and food chains collapse. Whales, dolphins, and other large sea creatures become disoriented, trapped in shrinking pools of water that grow more toxic with each passing hour. Entire ecosystems vanish overnight. Humanity, too, faces immediate consequences. Coastal cities are swallowed in steam. Airports shut down as visibility drops to zero. Power plants near shorelines are damaged by heat stress, leading to rolling blackouts. People struggle to breathe as water vapor thickens the air, turning each breath into an effort. Heat stroke cases skyrocket. Emergency services become overwhelmed, and still the oceans continue to boil away. Within days, sea levels fall dramatically. Land once submerged deep below the surface emerges as soggy, steaming plains. Mountain ranges hidden beneath the waves, thrust faults, hardened lava fields, deep ocean trenches, now stand exposed to air for the first time in tens of millions of years. The Mariana Trench becomes a gaping scar across the crust. Strange creatures adapted to eternal darkness lie dying on the freshly revealed seabed, unable to survive sunlight or even the pressure change. But the most dramatic consequences unfold in the sky. With so much water vapor choking the atmosphere, sunlight can no longer escape efficiently. Earth begins trapping heat like a runaway greenhouse. Temperatures rise faster than humanity can adapt. Forests dry out, rivers evaporate. Even inland lakes shrink until they are nothing but salt flats. Agriculture collapses as crops wilt under blistering heat. The food supply falters, civilization fractures. Nations ration fresh water, now the most precious resource on Earth. Desalination plants become useless without oceans to draw from. Some regions migrate toward higher elevations, seeking cooler climates. Others move underground. For many, survival becomes a daily negotiation with heat and dehydration. Eventually, after weeks or months, depending on the scale of the disaster, the last remaining pockets of ocean water retreat into deep trenches and evaporate entirely. Earth becomes a world without seas. The brilliant blue planet turns brown, cracked, and shimmering with relentless heat. The hydrological cycle collapses. Rain becomes a rare and violent phenomenon, occurring only when atmospheric pressure forces superheated vapor to condense suddenly and catastrophically. Strangely, in the immediate aftermath, the atmosphere becomes so saturated with water vapor that it creates an artificial shield, dimming sunlight and cooling the world slightly. Temperatures drop abruptly. Steam clouds settle. What was once a boiling planet becomes a fog-covered one. The sky remains gray for months, maybe years. But with no oceans to regulate climate, the planet eventually swings to the opposite extreme. Brutal cold. Water vapor freezes and falls as ice, forming glacial sheets across continents. The world transforms from a hot, humid greenhouse into an icy desert. Over centuries, Earth evolves into a planet defined by extremes: violent heat, suffocating humidity, crushing storms, and later, relentless cold. Life endures where it can. Microbes mutate to survive in the newfound niches of the planet. Insects and small animals adapt to strange new climates. Humans cluster in engineered habitats near the equator or underground, where temperatures remain stable. But the great blue seas, home to most of Earth's biodiversity, driver of its weather, sculptor of its landscapes, regulator of its climate, are gone. Only dried basins, salt deserts, and eerie trenches remain, haunted by the memory of tides and waves. The sound of crashing surf becomes a legend. Boats become relics. Marine life becomes myth. And every surviving human standing on land that was once buried under kilometers of water looks at the empty horizon and realizes the truth. Without the oceans, Earth is no longer the planet it once was. It is a world stripped of its heartbeat, its shimmering skin, its ancient rhythm. A world where the silence left behind is louder than any storm.